I thank him for coming.
And let me tell you something about how we try to manage health in the Netherlands. First of all, what we're going to do is talk about the transition period, the most important period for every cow each year. My name is Bert van Niejenhuis. I'm a veterinarian. I work for Cow Signals, VetVice, giving lectures, advice, how we can manage the health of cows. And I'm also having my own dairy practice in the middle of the Netherlands, where I visit my own farms. And that's actually what I'm going to talk about this morning, how we try to manage the health of the farms in my neighborhood. Well, if it's easy like this, anybody could be a farmer. But we know it's not that easy. So what our goal is, what the goal of VetVice Cow Signals is happy cows, happy farmers. And in the period that I was a student, I came in contact with Joep Driessen and Niejenhuis, the guys, they started VetVice in 1997. And we had the discussion, what is the role of a veterinarian? And I came up that I didn't want to be a veterinarian just to treat sick cows, but I like to be a veterinarian to help farmers to have healthy cows, because happy cows make happy farmers. And that is much more work enjoyment for a veterinarian also. So what we are trying to do is happy cows, happy farmers. And therefore, we came up with a cow signal scoring system. How can we prevent sickness from the cows? Most of the time, in the beginning of my practice, they just called me for a sick cow. And then I had to come there, and I saw a sad cow, a sad farmer, because it costs money, my cow is sick. And then I thought, okay, what can I do to prevent this? And what I'm doing now, I try to go every week or every 2 weeks to a farm and check the cows in the most critical periods. So that's the period around calving. And what we do, we just score the cows for those signals. What can we do? What are we seeing? Is it good, yes or no? Or do we have to change something? What we do is we have 5 groups of cows I like to check. The first group are the fresh cows. So 5 to 12 days in milk. The second group are the 40 days in milk, so the cows that have to come in heat. I want to check them. Are the ovaries okay? Is the uterus okay? Then the third group are the pregnant checks. Or, above 32 days, I do it with ultrasound. I'll do the pregnancy check. The group 4, the pregnant cows just before drying them off. And the last group are the dry cows. And why do we check those cows? Because the dry cows, the dry period is the beginning of the next lactation. It's not the end of the lactation, it's the beginning of the next lactation. And to prepare a cow for a successful dry period, we have to understand the cow, we have to look for the cow. The goal of the dry period is the renewal of the tissue of the udder. So the cow need a little vacation to have renewal of the udder, so they are prepared for the next lactation. And we have a protocol for that. We have 5 steps we want to check when you are drying off a cow. The body condition. The body condition of the cow has to be 3, 3.25, maybe 3.5. If the cow is above that or below that, and there are more cows doing that, we have to change something. We check the teeth condition. The teeth condition has to be the same like by the end of your finger. It has to be round, it has to be smooth. That is a good teeth condition, but we have to check it so we know how the cows are doing. We like to have the milk production below 12 or 10 kilograms a day. If it is higher, we have too much pressure on the udder, and that gives trouble for the cow. Check the healthy claws. Every cow has to have healthy claws in the dry period. And the last one, the general checkup. Everything you want to do just before drying them off, you have to check the cow in that period. It starts with the body condition. What is the body condition? It's just a tool so we can know how is the cow doing during the whole lactation. So it's just a way of seeing how much is the cow eating and what is the cow doing with the feed you're giving them. It's a tool. There are different ways of doing the body condition. You have to choose one and stick to that. It's not the goal at itself to have 3. What we like is that you know what our cows are doing. In the dry period, don't make them too fat. After calving, don't drop them down. It has to be a smooth line. And the most easiest way is when you check the body condition, just feel the skin near the tail. And what do you feel? If you only feel the skin without any fat, we say it's body condition 2. When you feel a little bit fat, like in your cheek, then it's body condition 3. And when you're feeling your love handles here, it's body condition 4. That's a little bit too high. This is what we like to have around this. So check your cows and do it on a scheduled way so you know what your cows are doing during the lactation. And you have to build a system to achieve it. It's the beginning of the first, it's a good start of the first lactation. And by doing that, we know that fat cows have more trouble starting up. And when the cows have trouble with starting up, they are not pregnant in time. There are over too many days in milk before you get them pregnant. And by the end of that lactation, they are too fat, and then they're already fat by the dry period. So you're in a vicious circle in the wrong way. So if body condition is a goal, so every cow has to be around 3, then we know that you have healthy cows that can become pregnant in early. So you have a good result with reproduction. They don't go too many days in lactation. And then you have a nice start of the dry period and the next lactation. And this is a body condition we like. Simple, just check it. Teeth conditions, like I said, just the top of your finger. That's what we like to see. Smooth, round, and we don't like to see trouble like this. We don't like to see keratosis on this because we know that we have, when you have too much keratosis, you have 2.5 times more risk of mastitis during the next lactation. And that tells us something about how is your milk machine working. When you check every cow and you write it down, you can also do the calculation how many cows do have a good teeth end and how many cows does have some trouble with keratosis on the end of the teeth. And we have too much trouble with more than 10% of your cows have keratosis on the teeth ends. You have to check your machine, your milk parlor, because maybe something is going wrong there. And there mastitis starts, and that's something you can prevent. Milk production below 10 to 12 kilograms a day, that's a goal. Because if it's higher, you have more trouble with mastitis and also more trouble with stress from the cows. We know that a higher milk production at drying off delays the closure of the teat ends. You see here, then when the milk production is high, and here you see 20